Hello and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast, your shortcut to various opinions on all things pop culture. This is the episode for the week of January the 23rd, 2021. I am your host for this week, David Parker, and joining me today is...
Landon Browning,
Will Dobratz,
and Mick.
And Mick Parker. Mick, how come you never say your last name when the rest of us all say your last name?
It's my one part where I can rebel.
It's
funny.
That's your your one rebellion?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, because the rest of the show, if I do it too much, it's just not funny.
That's
if I do it right away and then stop, it's funny.
Then you just get it out of the way, so no one
funny.
No one has to worry about it. Landon, do you think it's funny?
And if I can make Landon,
no,
I've
but
done my job.
I'm gonna ask Landon. Is one reason you find it funny is because you know how it makes me feel?
Yeah. That's the most like I know we go through we each say their last name and then Mick just says Mick. And then you could just tell, you could just see the irritation on Dave's face. And he's like, Mick Parker, he feels like he has to save it. And it's but it's just
Michael trying to distance himself from the Parker name.
I mean, why is it important to say our last names?
It's name recognition. We got to get ourselves out there. There's so many famous Micks that.
How's that working so far?
They're just the endorsement deals are just flying through.
The babes, Michael. Think of the babes.
Yeah.
If they knew your last name.
But I want to be like Beyonce. One name.
Mick.
But Beyonce has a last name.
No, it's Beyonce.
It's Beyonce Z.
No, it's Beyonce
married
Knowles.
to Jay-Z. Beyonce Z.
Oh, ooh.
Okay, video games.
That was Will's first joke of the episode. Stay tuned for
and hopefully his last.
Stay tuned for more incoming.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Landon, you started Cyberpunk 2077 because this week they came out with their first big, I guess, content patch or not.
This morning, actually. It was this morning.
I guess it's not a content update, right? As much as it is like a quality of life patch.
Yeah. They're trying to fix all their oopsies.
They're trying to bring it closer to how it should have been on release. That's what it really is.
Yeah.
They're a little bit closer now.
Just a bit.
Yeah, and so far I'm only probably an hour and a half into the game, and so far it's ran pretty smooth. There's been a few weird hiccups, like texture pop-ins and stuff, but the frame rate, from what I'm not a frame rate genius, but it's actually felt pretty steady. So, and I've gone through quite a few combat encounters already in the opening.
How far?
I remember watching.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of when I was watching frame rate tests when the game first came out, they were showing one of the encounters from the very beginning of the game where you're in a car chase sequence, and it was crashing and stuttering, and I went through that whole sequence without any issues at all. So somewhat promising. I doubt it's anywhere near PC, but
about how many hours have you put in then so far?
An hour and a half. I think.
What did you choose?
You're pretty much done.
What'd you choose for your life path?
I did the Street Kid thing.
Street Kid? Okay.
What options are there?
There's Street Kid, Hood Rat, Degenerate.
What's the difference between them?
I don't really know.
Is there
there's
difference?
I think there's a slight difference. Will's
I can answer this.
No, not really.
So there's Street Kid, Nomad, and Corpo. I chose Corpo, and I played about a 20-minute intro about me becoming a street kid, and then it sent me right into the main story route.
So if you're a nomad, I'm assuming it's kind of the same thing. You're a nomad for 20 minutes, and then you become a street kid.
Yeah, basically. So that's what I've heard is that they all kind of funnel into one route, and you go from there, which is to be expected, but it's just a shame that going forward, the only thing it gives you is dialogue options, pretty much. But
So Landon, then, as someone who started the game, who was an avid Witcher fan, how is it How is the game so far for you?
It's great. I like the environment. I like the world so far. The gunplay seems a little stiff, but I'm very early into it, so I don't have a lot of skills or abilities. I'm assuming it's a game that'll probably be more fun to play, either heavy on the hacking or stealth, as opposed to run and gun,
combat or something.
Yeah, but maybe that'll change once I get better weapons.
Are you at the point where you can decide if you're wanting to spec more into melee or spec into ranged or anything like that?
I got you get 7 skill points at the start of the game, and I kind of just disperse them somewhat evenly, and then I'll probably. I always hate that at the beginning of a game. I'm well, I don't know how I want to play it yet because I haven't actually played it, but you almost have to make the decision before you start. So I'll wait and see what I like doing more.
If it's a big, complicated RPG, usually I'll check like a wiki or something first to check into specs to see like, do I need to be like working towards any specific kind of talent trees or something like that? Because you don't want to mess up your spec at the beginning of the game. I mean,
messing up your spec can really screw you over in the long run.
Anyone who's played kind of complicated RPGs kind of knows, I think, exactly what I'm talking about too, because it can really stress you out, especially if you're 20 levels into a game. You're like, I can't believe I wasted my first 5 levels that now I can't get back. Because some games you can't easily respec.
You can't respec. I like when you can respec in a game.
I'm pro respec. Some people are like, no, it's like it messes up the integrity of the role playing, and it's like I don't know.
They can suck it.
Yeah, like the Souls games, you like can't respec in those. So my first,
in that game, you're like
Souls games
the skills are.
RPGs. I'm just gonna say it.
And
Souls games aren't true
and like I had too many wasted skill points in Bloodborne that I couldn't get back, and it's
half the skill descriptions they don't make any sense. It's like, oh, what is this? It's like I don't know what this means. Like it's like your luck.
Exactly.
It's like what? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, if it's like vitality or something like that, you're like, I know what that is. But then you get like I'll go back to Bloodborne. There's arcane that you're like, you're not exactly sure what that's going to affect because it affects.
I still don't know what that means.
It affects certain weapons and certain kinds of attacks, but not all kinds. And then you have weird. Yeah, you have kind of like luck is another one that's in a lot of RPGs that you're never quite sure exactly what that's affecting with your character.
I think my least favorite thing is when there's like 3 stats that are really, really similar. There's like endurance, speed, and agility or something like that. And
or
it's like
endurance,
how do I tell
vitality, stamina?
It's like, wait a minute. Like, what's the difference between all these? Like, they basically mean the same thing, right? Like,
that's why I like special in Fallout. I feel like all of them are a little unique, and they at least give a good explanation of what everything does, like down to a very practical level. So like by spending 1 skill point in strength or 1 skill point in perception, you know exactly what is going to change for your character and how it's going to affect your game going forward. And some games
not only that,
and some games just don't do that.
Yeah, and not only that, you know specific you as you play the game, you get a grip of what specific dialogue options relate to
certain stats.
Like strength will be like, oh, I can tough this guy. I can
like charisma. Charisma's my favorite thing to put points into.
Charisma's awesome. Yeah.
I've never been big with charisma except for the one game, Landon.
Outer Worlds.
I did like 100% charisma run, and that made the game so much fun.
Oh yeah, I did 100. I had like charisma, lying, and like whatever. Like I had them all maxed out, and at like the last, like the big final battle, I made it through the entire like scenario. I didn't fire a single shot. I didn't kill anybody. I talked my way through everything and like basically won the game. Like I like talked like the main bad guy into just like basically like helping me at the end. I'm like, this is really the right thing to do. And they're like, okay.
I enjoy games that do that. I mean, you can't do that in like a lot of kind of action games, but in RPGs specifically, where you have the potential to like if you made the right kind of character and you did certain sort of things in the story, like it makes sense that you would be able to end this big conflict through dialogue options that you were able to make the right choices. And I like games that do that. I think that's fun, but it's only certain kind of games that I think it fits well. And Outer Worlds was definitely one of those.
Yeah, that game's really
I still haven't
good.
played that game. I still haven't.
It's really fun.
I think it's
on Games Pass. So
do you still have a Games Pass subscription?
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I have it till like the end of the month.
Yeah, you should check that one out. It doesn't take too long to play through. Landon and I both played it. If you do just like the main story, you can beat it really quick.
Like 4 hours.
But it has some really fun side quests.
Is that kind of like Fallout Light?
Yeah, it's like a smaller.
Yeah, a little bit smaller world.
I think it's probably better than Fallout 4.
Certain elements, I would say, definitely are better. I think Fallout 4 does have. I like the guns in Fallout 4 and being able to all the customization options you had, being able to repair them and modify them. I think that was pretty robust in that game. And then, of course, everyone's favorite part of Fallout 4, the base building.
Settlement.
Settlements.
Dude, that's so stupid. Like what it like. That like could have been cool, but like it was so stupid. Like it's so dumb. Like You get more settlements, and then like the minimum, oh, settlement needs help. Oh, another settlement needs. I'm like, I'll kill every last minute, man. Like that. Ugh.
Yeah,
That's a rant that nobody.
There was good potential in the settlements, and they I don't know what exactly they did with botching that, but
won't they just be happy? Like,
you're just thinking that trophy, aren't you?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
The 100% happiness in a settlement, which, you know, I think we've talked about that on the show before. But the only way to
there's
get
no
the
way
trophy
with what I had to do,
trying to get the trophy.
With what I had to do to make those people happy, there's no way they were actually really happy.
Like, because you built like 800, you know, med tents or hospitals or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a broken trophy. But yeah, it's very similar to Outer Worlds. It was the same studio that did New Vegas, who was the studio that did the first and the second Fallout game, the original Fallout games. So they're kind of spiritual successors to those original ones. Because then when you play the third one, which is like basically Elder Scrolls mod, basically. Or Fallout reskin of an Elder Scrolls game.
With Liam Neeson.
Yeah, with Liam Neeson as the father. That now, I mean, people think of that more when they think of Fallout instead of the original Fallout games. But anyway, how did we get on to...
I don't know.
Cyberpunk.
RPGs with Cyberpunk, you know, CD Projekt Red's Game of the Year frontrunner, Cyberpunk 2077.
So, are you going?
Please.
So far,
so what if Days Gone and Cyberpunk came out in the same year?
Gosh.
Which would take?
Well, it depends. With Days Gone on PS5 running at 60 frames per second and 4K now, like,
delicious.
Like, yes, up-resed. Like, you just can't beat the characters in Days Gone. Like that's the main thing going for it. Like Will likes characters in games, so I don't know why he hasn't played Days Gone yet. Heart-wrenching story.
I think Will and I have the same. I think Will and I have the same thoughts about Days Gone.
You guys haven't played it. Neither of you played it.
Never touch.
Dude, the story is laughable. It's so it's so bad that it's good.
We feel about Days Gone the way that you feel about Kingdom Hearts without playing Kingdom Hearts. But you didn't grow up with Days Gone. You played that as an adult, and you still.
Dude, but I feel like it's always been a part of me.
No,
stop, please. I can't take it anymore.
But okay, so you've enjoyed so far what you played of Cyberpunk, and you're looking forward to playing more of it.
Yes, I'll probably play more today.
Okay, well, yeah, you
until
should.
It starts crashing.
Yeah, keep us updated because I will play the game at some point. It will probably be a while before I pick it up.
Probably be a while.
Probably be a minute.
Yeah.
wait for like the Game of the Year edition or whatever.
Yeah, the Game of the Year edition, or after they've released some DLC to kind of make the game a little more fleshed out and robust.
The true edition.
Yeah, true edition.
I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait any longer. I
don't think
couldn't
I'm
wait.
gonna.
There was nothing else I wanted to play.
You weren't back to playing Siege with Colby since his ban was lifted?
I mean, I haven't played yet with them.
Landon will load up tonight, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I definitely will. It's that
game's
really the only. It's like the only constant. It's like the one constant in life. It's like I know I can boot up Siege
and
lose the game and lose the game 4-2 and scream like profanity into a microphone to my friends and then apologize moments later and then swear again and then get angry but then celebrate a win.
Man, okay, we have to find you a new constant. That's really depressing.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's not depressing.
Anyone on the outside who hears that, any listener is going to think, man, that is like the saddest thing I've ever heard. The constant is losing this game that you then just yell out things.
That's the only sad thing in my life. So, that's all it. Yeah.
Oh,
so
gosh.
That's the one sad thing. Then it's good. So, hey, Mick, what have you been playing?
Something on your mind, Landon?
Landon's trying to get off that topic so fast.
It's not. What have you been playing, man? You played some cool stuff.
Oh, yeah, Mick, you beat Miles Morales.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
So how was that?
I beat the game. Done. It was good. It's a shorter game than the other Spider-Man game that came out in 2018. I actually wish it was longer because I think the character of Miles deserves a full-length game. But the story that they told in the game, it didn't feel like there had to be a full game, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it didn't feel like a DLC where it's like super short.
No. It didn't feel like a DLC at all. There were definitely there's definitely a its own game, which I really liked. I mean, I don't really want to spoil anything, but yeah, good solid.
You played
Spider-Man
it
game.
on PS4, right?
Yeah, because I'm never getting a PS5, so
Yeah.
I thought might as well just play it on PlayStation 4. So.
Do you think he's going to show up in the next Insomniac Spider-Man game, or are we done
maybe,
with his
maybe not.
character? Or
Oh.
Don't want to spoil anything. So
well, I mean,
Peter Parker murders
show
him at
up.
the end of the game.
You're
I'm the
stealing
only
my thunder.
Spider-Man. Is Peter Parker in it at all? Does he look like dumb with his new character model?
is that a
The
yes?
appropriate answer is yes. The
Yeah.
appropriate answer is yes.
I think what
It's
bothers
not-
me most.
It's not as bad, but if I played the first game, the remastered, I think that'll bother me because I'm so used to that face with that game. This one, it was like, okay, it's a new game. It kind of I can kind of look past it, but yeah, I think the old face is just a much better.
Yeah,
face
it's gonna be
design.
super weird when MJ's dating a kid that looks like 8 years younger than
Yeah,
her.
MJ looks
Like,
25. He looks like
New
19.
Peter Parker looks 16.
New Peter Parker looks 19 at best.
Miles Morales looks older than the new Peter Parker,
That's
so-
weird.
which is
Not a
completely
fan.
wrong.
Not a fan. Miles is still in high school, and Peter's graduated college, right? In the
Peter, I
universe?
think, is 24 in the Miles Morales game, and Miles is 16. I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
no.
man.
Yeah.
That's a down vote for me. That's a
And
thumbs
look.
down.
And look, yes, some 24-year-olds look pretty young, but I mean, come on.
Not this.
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
That's my argument. Come on.
Is there any news
Uh,
on the next Insomniac Spider-Man game?
I don't think anything official, but it's definitely going to happen.
It was like,
Or it won't happen.
Mick with another ambiguous comment about,
Miles and Peter
About
both
something he's
die at the end of
talking
the game.
Yeah.
or do they? But overall, you liked it. You'd recommend it. Would you say
Oh,
wait
yeah,
for
it was-
or try to wait for PS5 version for other people if you can? Or?
No, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, if you're the person that has to play it in 60 frames and has to play it in 1440 or 4K or whatever, then sure, wait.
But the haptic feedback.
6 months or whatever to get a PS5. Yeah. I enjoyed it for the story and the mechanics of the game. So,
I mean,
and it still looked really good.
you notoriously have gone back to that Insomniac Spider-Man game a lot. You've played through the story
Yeah.
a lot of times, and you will just go to that game and swing around
Yeah.
anyone who will get into a game of Call of Duty or Siege or something. It's like you'll just get down there and just swing around New York as Spider-Man. So
It's very therapeutic.
yeah,
It's
so
calming.
yeah, historically probably on this podcast have played that game, more than any of us combined probably, who have all beat the game, and some of us have the platinum trophy. So
Yes.
so you have played the crap out of Spider-Man games. The new
Literally
the new
the crap
Spider-Man
out of
games.
it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now that you beat it, what are you gonna play next?
I still have the Squadrons game, Star Wars Squadron. I'll probably get back into that.
One.
Just
You want
deal
my
with
copy
the
of Persona 5?
weird floaty. No, with the weird floaty controls.
What if Mick got into Persona 5
Oh,
and it's
no,
what
no,
got
no,
him
no.
into RPGs?
But the cost is too high.
What's the cost? What's the cost?
What would it do to my soul?
Well,
Destroy
well,
it.
the
It
good
will
thing,
tear it in
well,
two.
Mick,
Banish you to hell.
Mick doesn't get like destructively attached to things. So yeah, could you imagine Weeby Mick?
No, not good.
I mean, I like some anime stuff, but
Exactly.
I'm not insane. I even last night I almost started. Was it Steins Gate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I almost started that again because I have Will's copy.
And then you're
Yeah,
like,
you
what am
still
I
haven't given
doing?
it back to me.
Yeah,
then it was
what am
like-
I doing? I'm just gonna swing around in Spider-Man instead.
It's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What is Steins Gate, Will?
It's a anime about a bunch of college kids discover time travel accidentally.
Nerd.
And so it basically discovers this giant the effects of basically playing around without caution
With time travel?
of with time travel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and just changing things.
That has some games and and anime, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
does. Yes,
What-
I really enjoyed both of them.
Do you have a preference over them? Like which one you liked more?
They're both good. I think I don't know. It's hard because the anime does a better job of like being cinematic, but the game's a visual novel, and so when you
okay.
come across visual novels, it's just basically
It's Will's
books with
bread
pictures.
and butter right there.
I do enjoy them.
For like
but
clicking
it's-
one button.
Yeah, it's basically you're just clicking the same button over and over again. And so I think the anime does a better job of being very interactive and very like drawing you in and more cinematic. But you can't really beat the characters of the visual novel because it sometimes it dives into the main character's thoughts better. So
well, Mick, maybe you should watch it. You know that way you and Will could talk about it on the show, and Landon and
or
I
you can completely trash it and take the side of David and Landon.
I'm one of those that's like a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh. So
nerd.
What's the thing from that time to duel or whatever?
It's
Right?
time to
it's
do
time
the duel.
to.
You just activated my trap card.
I'm pretty sure like I was told that Yu-Gi-Oh was like satanic when I was a child. So
Yeah, it got to the point where like my parents were okay with Pokemon, but Yu-Gi-Oh was kind of weird, so we didn't really play it.
Pokemon,
but-
ooh, your
but-
parents were pretty loose, man. Like they.
Well, my dad
we
was
lived in
my
Japan,
my dad
so,
was still kind of anti-Pokemon. My mom is kind of the one that was like, no, it's okay. They can get
Yeah,
into
but
it.
Dad's the one that named our own Pokemon.
What?
Remember Gumchew?
Oh yes, my father he he would see our Pokemon cards and just come up with names for them because we had the Japanese ones. And since he couldn't read Japanese, he would just make up names. So we would this is when we first moved to Japan, and we didn't know the names either. So we just kind of made up names for Pokemon. Yeah, and I guess was it for Ditto? He's the pink one that can transform. He came
That
up.
looks like a chewed up piece of gum.
Yeah, he named him Gumchew.
Wow, original name.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. I was
Wow, hire that man. Like,
Gumchew. I mean, if it sounds good after saying or before saying "I choose you," then you're good, right?
I choose you, Gumchew is not the worst thing I've heard. I will give
I mean,
it that.
there are some pretty lame Pokemon names out there for real Pokemon, so it actually is, I would say, is like a pretty average Pokemon name. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, we really we weren't allowed to get into, but we did watch the show every once in a while when we were younger, so I did always want to play the game. I later, when I was older, I bought a huge collection of them on Craigslist for very little money. So I actually have a bunch of cards, but I've never really played because it's just me.
You're telling me your wife doesn't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh with you?
Yeah, it's really weird. Well, I don't know if how familiar you are with the game, but if you've
not at all.
played, or if you know
play
anything about,
witchcraft.
it's basically a ripoff of Magic the Gathering. So if you
that's
played,
also of the devil. So
so if you've played either
Landon,
of
I
those,
swear, if you your parents might have told you that you stepped into the wrong room, you would have burst into flames or something like that.
probably like magic. It literally has a bad word in the name, magic. And then you're gonna gather around it.
no.
That's a double no-no.
Yeah,
And two negative things don't make a positive.
yeah.
Anyway, this is a roundabout way of saying that, Mick, you should watch Steins Gate, and then
Okay.
and maybe Landon and I'll give it a try too. Like I'm open to.
What the hell are you talking about?
Landon does not.
Well, here's the thing. See,
Don't
Will,
sign me up for
if
that.
Mick and I watch it, and Landon's the one that doesn't, then he's the outlier, and then we get to make fun of him. See?
Oh wow, that's only if you guys like it.
I mean,
I'll take the odds.
we would probably
You'll
like
take
it, right? I mean, would you say
I
it's an
think Michael
interesting
would
story?
like it. I'd say it's a very interesting story, and it gets like it's one of those shows that kind of builds slowly, and then it really hits at the halfway point. Like everything just kind of changes right when
You just
a
have to
certain
watch
event happens.
95 episodes of
No,
Steins
it's
Gate
like
before-
12, I think. And then because it keeps building they keep doing these smaller kind of time travel experiments, and then just bad stuff happens. Anyway, I won't get
How
into
many
it.
episodes are in the whole series? How long is it total? I don't like
24
shows.
episodes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
anime
20
either
minutes
has 20 episodes or 870 episodes.
Yeah,
there's no in between.
And usually they're 20-minute episodes for sure. And so
I think Death
it's
Note
really a
had,
small
like,
time
50.
commitment.
Yeah, it's like 50 or something. Yeah, Mick and I have seen Death Note. Have you seen that, Will?
Yes, I love
Okay.
Death Note.
Will saw
It was
Death
great.
Note,
Oh, Landon, you loser.
yeah. Loser.
Yeah.
I think Landon would like Death Note.
Oh, it has
Probably
some really
would.
complex moral, like,
Yeah.
and
Death
like
Note's
it says,
awesome.
it's great. Like all the characters are great. The stakes are high. You never know
Delete.
what's gonna happen.
Delete.
Did you guys
Delete.
did you guys see the Netflix movie?
Yes, I did watch that.
I've seen the
So
trailer for the
bad.
Netflix movie, and I didn't
It's really
watch it
bad.
because it looked so
Don't
bad.
watch it.
It was terrible.
It was so bad. The only good part, and even that, it was still not like completely accurate, was William Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe is awesome.
Oh,
He's
because
just creepy.
he plays the
Like,
the what is his name?
Reek,
God of Death, the whatever.
Raikou? What's his name? Ryuk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're all well versed in Landon. So
Yeah.
is it on Netflix still? I know it was on Netflix for a long time.
Yeah, it's a Netflix original movie. So
No,
I
I'm
think
talking
it'll
about
be
the
on there forever.
no, it's a TV show. Damn
Oh,
it.
sorry. I don't. It might be on there. I have the whole series. If you want to borrow it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the movie. I wasn't trying to
I
be
thought you
smart.
knew what I was talking about. You were
No.
just like doing one of those like.
No, I'm sorry. Just an
No, you're fine.
actual case of misunderstanding.
Sorry.
Sorry.
There's those times where Michael just like does that, where he goes on
I
about
mean,
the
don't
wrong thing
just
on
call me
purpose.
out. We all do
and
it.
Landon's
Oh,
trust.
yeah.
Landon's trust is a little. It's on thin ice right now. So the combination of Michael saying something to Landon, like it was just a
I
setup.
mean,
He
you
was
could
trying to
see
make a
where
joke,
I
like-
had assumed it was talking about the movie because we were just discussing it.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
So yeah, sorry.
No. It's fine.
I got something in the mail.
Yeah.
What'd
You
you
want to see it?
what'd you get in the mail?
Sure. Oh,
What's
and
up?
he's gone.
I'm scared. Is anyone else scared?
Okay,
I'm
what are
excited.
we taking bets on? I think it's a Lego set.
I don't know. I don't know, like a bloody head. Oh, it's another
it's a
can
Diet
of
Coke.
Coke.
Dr. Coke
Oh.
or Diet
Traditional Diet Coke, not just regular. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Star Wars trilogy.
the despecialized edition.
Despecialized. So I
Where'd you-
guess is
did
it
you buy
the
that on the-
original VHS test?
Did you buy that on
tapes,
the
like on
black
Blu-ray?
market?
I bought it on the Facebook Market, so good. I think.
I
But
hope the
it's,
discs do not contain Star Wars and something completely different.
I have watched through the first two movies, and they're good. Nothing weird comes up halfway through. But I mean, the discs look like pretty good.
But
Wow.
But this is it's technically
It's a yeah. You can cut all this if I get in trouble, but
I don't think you would get in trouble. It's more the people that sell the stuff that get in
Yeah,
trouble.
I don't think there's any penalty for consuming it.
I won't name names, but
It hurts the economy, though. We've all seen the warnings at the front. Of the
You
DVDs.
wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a DVD player. Like
okay, I regret bringing this up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you
Michael, go into the ethical implications of buying something off the black market.
it's
It
not the
was
black
Facebook
market, it's fake Facebook Marketplace.
Just saying.
Hey,
Want
you
to
know,
make that clear?
Facebook Marketplace is basically the black market for like
Drugs.
white ladies, right?
Basically.
Okay, so you
I'm just gonna
bought
leave this on my doorstep.
you bought
I'm gonna pick it up.
it's the original declassified or despecialized trilogy of Star Wars. So
Yeah.
for the uninitiated, who what is it that they have taken out? Because
It's
some of us have
a-
been with the specialized version for so long. That's the one that we're used to, which is kind of a scary thought.
Basically anything after 1997 re-release, it's all taken out. So it's like the actual theatrical versions of the Star Wars movies.
So Han
if you-
shoots first.
Yep.
There's no
So wait
Jabba
a
the
minute.
Hutt in episode
You're telling me
4.
that
No
Han
weird
Solo
Jabba
doesn't
the Hutt.
walk over Jabba's tail?
Yeah, he doesn't like weirdly morph up, and Jabba doesn't go "Arr!" when he steps on his tail.
It's so bad. It's so
Do
bad.
they have the original?
but it's all part of
explosions
his original vision.
too.
Yep.
Not the CG explosions.
Nope.
Okay.
And it's pulled from like a bunch of like early Laserdisc edits, and I think a majority of it is from the Blu-ray, the 2011 Blu-ray edition, and
So
I mean,
is
it all looks like really good.
So the quality is really good then.
yeah, the quality is high def,
Dang.
really good looking.
Well,
I mean, it's even like original to the point where when you watch A New Hope or Star Wars, it just comes up as Star Wars, not even any
yeah.
title after that.
That would be awesome.
So then when you watch then when you watch Empire, you see Empire Strikes Back episode 5. You're like, what? Like, did I miss something here?
See, the interesting one will be episode 6 because that had a lot of changes in particular. With whole Jabba's palace.
I can't wait
and then,
for Darth
the
Vader
very
to
end.
not say no.
No.
Like, I'm so excited for that. No.
Yeah, because Michael and I grew up watching the I think it was the 97 or 93 VHSs. So that's what we had been used to. And then they started doing all of the re-releases and the
it was like one of the last
and-
releases before like changes started happening. So it was like basically the theatrical versions.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's nice seeing original things again.
I feel like it's weird though that at this point that they haven't done those kind of official releases, because I feel like there is enough market for it that they can easily make back their money on whatever they need to do
absolutely
to
is.
release
I think when George Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, I think there were things in the contract saying
stipulations.
You can't have these versions for.
You can't change any of the past versions off. Probably. That's a good guess, Michael.
Yeah.
So,
So does George Lucas hate the original cuts then?
I mean, he clearly, I think he's been on record saying he wasn't completely happy with the cuts that were released. That's why he's gone back and put all the stuff in, because that was his original vision.
It's all part of my original vision.
I know I keep bringing this up every week, but every once in a while, on a South Park episode, there will be George Lucas that shows up, and they have some interesting things that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg have done to their movies that they kind of riff on in that show. That gets a little dark. But
what has Spielberg done?
E.T. when he changed E.T.
Oh, I never seen it.
And
E.T. sucks.
And
that movie sucks.
there's a
didn't he?
Bold statement coming from
it is.
Was it the practical to the digital E.T. dude?
They changed guns to
Mr.
radios.
E.T.? Guns to what?
They changed guns to walkie-talkies and radios. It's like in the original
what?
cut, they have guns. Like people
In
have
Raiders?
Guns. No, in
like
E.T.
all the Nazis have radios and
No, in E.T. But they talk a bit about there's an episode I'll probably have you guys watch that's specifically about the 4th Indiana Jones movie.
Oh gosh.
That
So good.
Yeah, you guys should watch it.
The monkeys swinging with the monkeys. It's just so good.
Anyway, but I won't touch on it too much. But George
Knowledge.
Lucas.
Knowledge was the treasure.
Maybe when he dies, Disney can release.
I'm curious. I have no idea, but there might be like a time limit to where they are allowed to release.
Well, I'm sure there's some
original
clause
Star Wars stuff
somewhere in, because I mean, if Disney can release 4 different versions of the movie, and then the crazy nerds that will buy 3 of them, they're gonna do that because they'll make more money. So
I mean, there's absolutely if Disney came out and said we're releasing the theatrical versions of this original trilogy, I mean, of course people are gonna buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy 3 copies.
Gosh, dang it.
is Michael part of the problem?
Yeah, probably.
Does Michael encourage
part of the
corporate
solution.
greed?
I think he does. Yeah, I mean, Michael's when I think of a consumer, Michael's usually my first thought.
Thanks.
Yeah, it makes the world go around. I guess,
Last week,
right?
Mick's I got my 7th X-Wing Lego set.
Mick's I'm just supporting the arts, okay?
Yeah.
I'm mad that they keep making the same versions, but I'll buy them.
Yeah.
I don't think they keep making the same versions. They just downgrade them, right? Sometimes it's just we're just gonna take out some things.
This one was definitely a downgrade.
Yeah.
This X-Wing that I'm holding in my hands, by the way.
Yeah, Michael's showing us the next one. Well, speaking of Star Wars and Disney, our favorite studio, Disney, they released their next episode of WandaVision. Mick and Will, you guys are caught up on that, right?
Yeah.
Was this the Brady Bunch episode?
The Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Three's Company. Yeah.
So what was this one like? Good?
It was
Okay.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot, and everything I want to say about the show has some spoilers in it that I don't want to say.
Oh, it's a good thing we all are caught up on it.
Yeah,
So
it's
we can-
great that you guys have watched it and have kept up with it, and I can talk about it. Isn't that
Yeah.
fantastic?
Hey, it's almost like you're suffering now because of what you did with Mando.
Yeah,
Is this
Will,
revenge? Is this
Will,
petty
you have
revenge?
no room to talk.
Yeah, you have no like you didn't
Revenge of
I
the-
know.
like to be fair, like WandaVision's only been out for like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I know I've gone on record saying that you guys can talk about WandaVision, and spoilers is okay. You know, with Mandalorian, I didn't want to get it spoiled for me, and I think Will didn't want it to get it spoiled for him. But you guys, if you want to talk about WandaVision stuff on here, I mean, it's up to Landon, I guess, at this point. But I'm
Yeah,
fine
go
if
for
you
it.
guys spoil episode 3, unless you guys don't want to talk about it.
Talk about it, but I think that it disservices the entire premise of the show. The entire premise of the show is a mystery. I don't want to give you like breadcrumbs like
Wait.
before they happen.
Wouldn't we want breadcrumbs? Like that's what like.
Dude, I want
Get-
some breadcrumbs so bad.
Or do you mean you
I
don't want to
think- I
reveal the
think-
sandwich?
I think this show,
I'll
it's
do the
best to go
sandwich.
into the show without what
Knowing
you would call
anything.
breadcrumbs. Yeah.
Yes.
I know we spoiled the first 2 episodes last week, but
I don't think there was no spoilers in there.
There
I mean,
was
we
a couple
talked freely
breadcrumbs.
about it.
Yeah.
We talked freely about it.
There's a-
which is spoiling the episodes. That's what I'm saying. If
What
we
we're
do that-
trying to
if-
say,
I'll definitely
put
be
it very
caught up by
bluntly.
next week, so
I'll
we
put
can
it
just
very,
talk
very
about it then.
bluntly. At the end of the 3rd episode, something kind of big happens that is a big clue to what's going on.
there's a
Oh.
breadcrumb. I mean,
Tasty, tasty morsel.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's like
yeah, I think
it's-
the show is definitely designed to not be discussed if you haven't seen it.
yes, exactly.
Oh, but you guys have
So-
seen it.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
but you no.
I no.
All right, we'll catch
Next
up.
topic.
How about,
Next
how about we
topic.
catch up?
Next
How
topic.
about we catch up?
Nick and
Next
Will don't
topic.
want to talk about. That's totally fine.
Next
I
topic.
finished the first episode of Raised by Wolves because last week
Splat gang.
we had talked a little bit about it, and I had finished about 80% of the first episode, which was right before. So spoilers for the first episode of Raised by Wolves. Right before the mother went on a horribly horrific murderous rampage and basically obliterated most of the people who were visiting that area. A couple people were saved, including the cleric guy that we talked about from Vikings and Warcraft. He was spared. But most people just blew up into a fine mist of
Was he the one that
first
got
two
his
meaty-
eyelid ripped off?
meaty red chunks.
No.
It wasn't chunks. It was like a mist.
Yeah.
It was a mist.
That was,
It was
Like the first 2 people
It
that
was
get hit,
gruesome.
like their like faces just like half melted off, and then she goes on the spaceship, and it's just popping people. Like, it's like, oh
well,
man.
it was at that point that I was like, oh, this is Ridley Scott. I can definitely make the connection now between this and some of his other
Other
works.
works.
You know, it reminded me a lot of Gladiator.
What?
Joke. Whoosh.
Is
Swish.
Gladiator not Ridley Scott?
Gladiator's Ridley Scott. Yeah, he directed.
Oh,
it.
I'm thinking of 300. Never mind. Thinking of 300. Zack Snyder.
What?
Anyway,
Are
so
you gonna watch more of
Raised
the
by
show?
Wolves.
Dave?
I will probably watch more of it. It was very intriguing. Especially at the end of that episode because you realize how crazy the mother is.
Yeah. No.
And then we're left with little Campion. So
She's like your new
And
friends,
other
Campion.
little children.
yeah, and the new siblings that are now
Yeah.
part of the gang.
That are horrified. They're horrified. Like,
Campion is so cool.
Is he your favorite?
Like he's so likable, and
yeah, you definitely don't want him to get murdered.
Have you seen any more of it, Landon, since last week?
No, I'm still
Okay.
like on episode 5. It takes like I have to be in the right mood to watch it because it's like it's pretty heady.
You know.
not
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's not a bucket full of joy to watch. It's pretty dark.
Well, last week we talked about how much we love dark shows, and that it was.
Yeah, did you watch Fleabag?
Yeah. Speaking of dark shows, I did watch season 1 of Fleabag, and that is
Goodness.
a dark comedy. I would definitely agree with that.
How sad.
Yeah, it's really depressing, but there are some really really funny moments in that show. She's the main character. She will narrate the show, but she'll like a la Malcolm in the Middle, look at the camera and talk and do some things, or sometimes just
I love this
make
subtle
facial
looks.
make facial expressions or something like that. But the show is really funny. It is kind of a bummer that it's really short. I haven't started season 2 yet, but
The second season,
Landon
in my
said it was
opinion,
good,
is even
so
better.
I'll check it out.
The second season is even funnier and like even sadder.
So my question is,
first
last
season.
week you were talking about Olivia Colman's character about being like really vile. I did find her, pretty unlikable. Is she more unlikable in season 2 though? Because I didn't think she was as bad. I was expecting her to be way worse. I don't know if that's
really?
just because of
I can't
the
stand
build-up.
her. I can't stand her. I cannot stand her. I can't stand her. I can't stand her sister's husband.
Oh
What's
yeah,
his name again?
he's
Such a
dirtbag.
sleaze. Like
Yeah.
he's just so. The last episode of that first season is really like it's hard to watch.
I mean, you kind of piece it
Like-
together, sort of like by
Yeah.
episode 3. You're like, oh, I think I see where this is going, and then it,
Yeah.
it gets there, and you're still kind of like, yeah, I was really hoping there was gonna be something else, but nah, and it's
No.
it's
Yeah,
kinda-
it hits you with that reveal.
kinda
and,
sad.
Like, yeah, it's really I don't want to get too spoiled, but like the scene at the very end of season 1 when she's in the cafe with the guy, like the dude from the loan.
the business loan.
Yeah, that scene's really really good. Like,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
just
it
has,
did
like-
have- it
She has
kinda-
like a meltdown. Like
Yeah,
and then-
it did kind of give you a sense of hope, but also like it really delved into her character and kind of everything that she's about. She kind of lays it all out on the table too, and you're like, oh man, like this is kind of a broken individual, and you really,
Oh, yeah,
you
she's-
really
yeah.
feel bad for her.
Yeah.
When for most of the show you kind of see her as the most kind of bubbly, kind of happy person in kind of this sea of other kind of depressing people. But
Yeah.
it just shows you that no one can escape the the inexplicable grasp of clinical depression. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
You should watch season 2, Dave. It's even better.
Yeah, I will check out season 2 probably sometime.
You watched the
Sometime
first
this
season in one day, didn't you?
I mean, it's 6 episodes. It's like 20-minute
okay,
episodes
like,
too.
They're 30 minutes. I
They're
think.
like 22, 20, 23.
You should watch the
it's like
second
watching
season.
a long movie, So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I watched all of season 1 in one day. So
Yeah.
I'll check out season 2. That way we can talk about it either next week or sometime. So
Cool.
what else?
I started watching Psych again.
Mick
Nice.
rewatching.
What is this, like the
another
10th time?
TV show.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mick, do you ever?
No,
You should watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, you should check out something that you haven't watched.
That show is
before.
so funny.
Psych,
That show is,
Psych is good, but yeah, because Landon, you are season 2.
I got a couple episodes left in season 2, and I'm really sad that like I'm gonna have to wait for the next season because it's so. I think I texted you about the. There's an episode with what's his face, Haley
Joel Osment.
Joel. Yeah, he's in an episode, and I think it's like the hardest I've laughed at. Like it's just kind of like a physical gag kind of that happens. Like, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's actually that funny, but like I was dying. Like I was laughing so hard. And you guys should watch it because it's really funny.
Yeah, there's so much in that show. Like if you like the movie, then you would absolutely 100% like the show. I mean, it is made
I
by
think
the
it,
same
I think it might be
people.
better.
It is made by the same people. There are some cameos too, so it's all in the same universe.
Isn't one of the guys one of the main people still? Isn't one of the actors from the movie a different character? But he's in. Isn't Laszlo from the movie, or is he not?
No, he's not.
He's not. Okay, I think Laszlo's my favorite.
There's
vampires.
there's some great
but
vampires.
Colin Robinson is pretty.
Colin Robinson, the energy vampire.
When he becomes too powerful.
Oh, he starts like growing hair and his head gets
Yeah, he
huge.
like takes over the office. Like he like multiplies.
Yeah,
Like,
it is a gem of a comedy show. So I think Mick, like, Psych is great. I love Psych. But the thing is, you've seen Psych so many times. I feel like it's time to branch out. Like
oh yeah,
try some other
sure.
TV shows.
Mick's like, I guess I could watch How I Met Your Mother again. I mean, I guess I could stop Psych. Like,
Gosh.
Psych
No,
is
Dave
good.
doesn't have Hulu anymore. I can't watch it. I think that's the real reason why Dave stopped with his Hulu account, because he was afraid that I was going to go back to it like soon.
What? Why would it?
Is that true, Dave?
No.
What you did?
What would that have anything
Yeah.
to do with me pausing my Hulu account? It's just that we weren't watching it
Because
and
that's
you weren't
where I
watching
watched
it.
How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember you spied on me that one time? I started it again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't...
Sounds like a psychopath, Dave. Like, what did you do?
No, I didn't... No, it's just it showed up in my
I
continue
didn't do
watching.
anything.
It showed up in my
Man.
continue watching. And I was like, I wasn't watching this. And Mick had just finished it. And it started... It was like continue watching season 1, episode 1 or something. So Mick, he was trying to get me confused to think that he was rewatching it again after just finishing the show. And notoriously, we all give him a bad time about watching it because it's one of those shows he just keeps watching over and over again, and then he doesn't watch new shows. And
So good.
I mean, it's funny, but there are better shows by far. There are better shows.
Like Psych.
Psych is good, but it can be better.
Psych is good, but it's probably like a C tier
Good.
like TV show.
Can be better.
Oh my goodness.
Have you guys watched Wonder Woman 84 yet?
No,
Nah,
I
I
need.
should
That's another
watch
thing I
it
need to
before
watch. There's like only a couple days.
It's coming off in
Yeah,
2
coming off in
days.
2
and you
days,
really need
so,
to watch
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe Bree and I'll try it again tomorrow or tonight or something. See if it works. We had issues with HBO Max not working on our PS4.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't
I
it
have a
my
hard
account
time.
that you're using?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
interesting.
you're trying to log on at the same time.
Maybe, I don't know.
Exact same moment.
At the exact same moment, watching the exact same stuff.
Okay,
well, what? HBO? It doesn't HBO Max allow like 6 devices?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I
Nope.
think they do.
Just one. Just one.
Okay,
Well,
anyway.
how do you
Like
know?
Will knows anything about
I'm an
streaming.
HBO
Yeah.
Max
Yeah.
expert.
Will's like can't talk about Will's
Stop.
like, I don't have Amazon, but I'll use my parents' Netflix account. Oh, my parents actually have HBO Max too, but like I might not use that, but I'll use this. I'll have that. Like you're a walking, talking contradiction.
Well, so
yeah,
Will,
yeah.
You're letting things out, Landon. It's
so
good. Keep
Will,
it coming.
Will,
Keep it
you
coming.
you don't watch things on streaming services apparently, but you do read. You so far are halfway through your second Way of Kings book.
What? No, I finished the whole book.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
You
halfway
own the book,
through.
or is your parents?
No,
own the
last
book?
time we talked, I was halfway through, which was a couple weeks ago. So
How-
I've been reading like
how
hours and
was
hours a
it?
day.
How'd it stack up?
It was really good. So it. Oh my goodness, there's so many. Like, not only is the actual plot like you can't guess what happens next in the actual plot. Sometimes
You won't.
it's
Yes.
not predictable.
What comes
Stop.
next?
Please stop.
Next week on
Another
Criminal
shard
Minds.
blade.
Okay.
Wait, it's shard blades, right? Is that what they're called?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Another
Those are the
shard
weapons.
blade.
I like the world building. I'm just gonna say it. I like the world building. The characters are great and fleshed out. And there's multiple viewpoints, Landon. I know you like that. It goes through multiple characters' viewpoints.
Characters die like way before like you think their like character arc's gonna come to a close, just because it's like
Edgy.
super gritty and edgy.
No, it's not bad writing.
Bold claim.
Landon's face.
Bold claim.
Wish the listeners could see him right now
Yeah,
This
so it
episode will
actually
be
has
rated
good
TV
writing.
mature for.
for the following comments.
Yeah. You dumb.
So are you gonna do the next book, like start the third book now, or?
I mean, I have it lying on my floor.
Oh, okay.
Like I already have it.
What?
I don't know if I'm gonna start it because I want to finish some games first before I move on to because those books are big projects. They're almost like they're the equivalent to 100-hour RPGs.
Yeah, those are not small books at all. In fact, they are
not.
some of the biggest books.
Yes. So I think the one I just read was about 1,100 pages.
Nice.
So before I tackle another book like that, I think I want to finish playing some games, watching some movies, watching some shows. I'm gonna try to get some other things under my belt before I tackle another.
Before you start the
3-month book.
next volume.
Yeah, book that I have to read for 3 months. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. To Dave. I think Michael would really like it. And I think Landon would really like it, despite there not being enough mature things. Quote end quote for Landon.
Landon?
Landon is muted somehow. He's not talking.
I'm thinking about my next words carefully.
Oh, really?
I'll hover my finger over the bleep button. I'll get ready.
No, I don't know. I mean, I kind of forgot how to read. Like, I just forgot. So we'll see. I
Someday.
haven't read a book in a minute.
Well, Mick, you are reading, in the vein of trying out new things, you're reading the books of a franchise that you've seen the movies of quite a few times, Hunger Games. So how's that been going? Have you read those books before, or no?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, at least that's a first.
New stuff.
What got you into reading those?
I just finished the Harry Potter books for like the 4th time.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is you are out of control.
Do you not know that there are other franchises and other properties? Is that what it is? You're just not
What?
aware?
There's other franchises and other properties? I didn't know that. What was the question?
What got you into them, and are you enjoying them? How far are you into them?
Oh,
what's going on?
They're good.
Are you like Team PETA or Team Goyle? Foyle?
Definitely.
Goyle. Crab and
Team
Goyle.
PETA. So I'll say this.
Are you Team Crab or Team Goyle?
I'm Team Blaze. In the movies, PETA, he kind of sucks, and you're like, oh, PETA, whatever. Like, why would she choose PETA? In the books, they do PETA, the character, much more justice, and he's just
Justice
a really
for Bread Boy.
Yeah, Bread Boy. He's just a really good character and a very likable person, and I don't think they quite get that in the movies. But him in the books is like, he's great. Like, you just really like PETA.
Hashtag solid dude.
Yeah, Bread Boy for life.
Yeah.
How far are you into him?
I finished the first 2 books, and I haven't started the 3rd one yet.
Oh, okay. So you're just
And actually,
you're
there
going through them pretty
was
quick.
they're not that long. They're like maybe
they're pretty short.
10 hours. But there's actually a 4th book released
What?
a year ago.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's a prequel to all
Oh,
of
get that money.
the other 3.
The Starving Games.
Yeah, Suzanne
think
Collins
it's
or whatever was
called-
like, I'm trying to bank account's getting a little low. Like,
It's like something.
It
snakes
dipped
and
below
birds.
10 million. Like, this
Yeah,
is
she's like,
unacceptable.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes?
Yep,
What's it about?
it's
prequel.
about the I think it's about the starting of the districts and the uprising of the capital.
Are you going to read that one then after you read the 3rd one, or?
Yeah.
Are you an OG fan? You're like, no, I only read the original 3.
original.
What is this 4th crap?
Yeah, I'll start it.
Oh,
after
wow.
I finish the first 3.
The main character. Do you want to know who the main character is of this book, Michael?
You tell us.
Is it
It's
PETA?
Snow.
Bread Boy?
Oh,
It's the evil president dude.
Yeah, that's what.
was
I
he
figured.
really that bad? Like,
I'm just kidding.
How do I put
he's
this?
just trying to keep the chaos at bay. Like,
I mean, it
When
makes
was
sense
it-
to me.
When was
you
it
know?
released? Will, was it a year ago?
It said. Let me try to find it.
I think it was 2020, like May 2020 or something.
I love the ending of the 3rd book. Like, it's so dope. Like, or the 3rd movie. Like, I like the way it ends.
How does it end? I do not
Yeah,
remember.
May 2020.
I actually
Yeah.
never saw the
Like-
last 2 movies. I read the books probably about
I didn't watch the last
like
2 movies
8
either.
or 10 years ago. But how does the 3rd one end?
She like shoots the leader of the
Coin.
rebellion people. Yeah.
Because she's turning into the next Snow,
Yeah.
basically. Like she wants
Because
to.
she bombed
She bombed the capital, killing Prim.
a bunch of other people.
A bunch
I
of
thought
other
Snow
people.
did that.
No, that was that was the
Oh
resistance.
shoot! Maybe I need to reread that book.
So she shoots like she's supposed to execute Snow at the end, and instead she like pulls the shot up and like shoots the other
she's
leader
got the
and
arrow
she dies.
trained on Snow, and it just so happens that Coin, the other president, is like in the line of fire behind Snow, and she shoots her instead.
And then like Snow like just starts laughing hysterically and like dies.
Like spitting up. Yeah, because I guess he was.
Yeah, he's like
dying
spitting
anyway.
up. Yeah, he was spitting up blood, and I think he's like trampled by people like rioting too. It's
Yeah,
pretty
Dang.
so
great.
he dies anyway.
Yeah,
That's pretty wild.
my
ending.
favorite Hunger Games property was the Battle Royale movie,
The foreign film.
the original.
the
Hunger
original
A
Games.
movie from
Yeah.
Japan. Gosh, you're such
That movie is dope.
such
you-
a weeb, dude.
Have you seen that one, Will?
No, I haven't actually.
That movie
It's
is
so violent.
Really? Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh gosh.
Yeah,
I don't think. I don't. Would I enjoy it?
probably. Who
It's
doesn't
from
want to watch a bunch
Japan.
of Japanese?
It has
school
some good.
children.
It has some good characters in it. I would say.
Gotcha.
I feel like it's more of a like. say what you will about the concept of a battle royale, especially in this day and age where it's like now it's a genre of video game and we're so used to it. About everyone dropping in and being the last to survive, but there's certain elements, certain elements of the Hunger Games story that is kind of like, eh. I think the movie, the Battle Royale, does a good job of kind of being a little more realistic as best as you could in that kind of situation of what a real Battle Royale would look like and how it would play out with people and their nature and the kind of, I guess, tendencies of people. So I kind of found it
sometimes
I kind of found it much more
I think I get what
realistic.
Here's a screenshot from the movie.
In a sense.
Oh, jeez. What in the world?
Mick just showed us. It's a picture of it's a bed of flowers on a hill. There's a sunset in the background. As it slowly fades. The credits are
End credits.
Yeah, end credits. Anyway, I think you should check it out. I think that Mick and Landon and I have all seen the movie.
I think we watched it together, didn't we?
Yes. I've seen it quite a few times.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about, Dave, when you say that there's some decision-making in the Hunger Games by the participants that are unrealistic. There's one character that's like, I'll kill you later, but I'm going to save you now, and just runs off, pretty much. And it's like, I wonder if a real person in that situation would do that. Like, when it's
would murder
literally every person for himself. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, Battle Royale, it's also grounded kind of more in a real world as well. It's still a little kind of janky because it's still like there's
it's still
all these school kids that a country is putting together to kill each other for some reason.
Isn't it from the worst grades? Like the school with like the worst. Isn't that what it is?
No, I think it's just random participants kind of. I don't quite remember. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but
I've only seen it once. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. Will, you should check it out. And Mick, I guess you're reading through those books
Dave,
again. What?
Would you volunteer as a tribute for me?
Yes, Michael.
so what's next on the topic list?
I volunteer as tribute.
You would?
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, thanks
this
for
is really awkward.
thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. Any other topics you guys want to cover before we're done?
Dave, would you volunteer?
No, stop.
Who wouldn't you volunteer?
No, stop it.
All three of us were up there.
Okay,
and you could volunteer and only be the one person.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. Everyone have a great week. Right? We'll be back.
Would you volunteer?
We'll be back next week. Thanks.
So what if
Bye.
there was Brianna up there, your wife?
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.